Hey guys, so welcome back to another video. If you want to be financially free, then this is the place to be. My name is Bernice Nolene, and in today's video I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of being a college student who commutes to school. Alright, so let's get it and let's go. Alright, so first I'm going to start off with the cons. I have a few cons and a few pros. So the first con of commuting is time and mental strength. So commuting does take a lot of time depending on how far you commute. Me personally, I had to commute 20 minutes to my school, but there's many people and even friends of mine who commute 45 minutes to an hour because they live further away from school. So with that being said, when it's snowing, when it's raining hard, that traffic be hitting different, and it can take a long time and make that time even longer of a commute due to weather and traffic conditions. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're about 45 minutes, expect some days to be an hour to an hour and a half maybe. But if you are closer to the campus, it shouldn't be that bad at all. Okay, so for those who take public transportation, this is also might be sometimes challenging and a con because sometimes public transportation isn't the most reliable. So that means you can have trains, buses, taxi cancel on you, Uber, Lyft cancel on you, and you can be stuck or you be delayed. So just know that, hey, if you know a holiday's coming up, it's Black Friday or a holiday's coming up, and let me prepare myself and get out the house earlier just in case there's traffic. It's bad weather, let me get out earlier because traffic's gonna be happening. And even if it seems like a normal day or you're on your first week of school, I would say just add an extra 10 minutes, 15 minutes to get to your class that you would have done on regular, especially that first week of school when you're trying to find and locate your classes. Take it from me, go in 20 minutes, find your class, and if you get there early, just find a seat nearby or go to the cab and then go back to class so you know you're on time and you're not one of those people who's walking 10 minutes late or so after the professor already started their lesson. Next one is, when you commute, you have less access to some of the school resources depending on how you commute. Sometimes if you're dependent on a family member or friend's ride, that means that they're picking you up right after class, so you go to class and you're going home, go to class, you're going to work. So sometimes you miss out the opportunities to talk to your professors, sometimes you miss the opportunity to talk to advisors, you miss campus hour, you might miss study hour, tutor hour with the professor, and so this might be difficult for you if you are, you're slacking in a class. But my advice to you is to always contact and keep that open communication with your professors, because for the most part some of these professors are very lenient and they're able to meet with you at a different time or even meet with you online. So I would say never be silent about that if that's an issue for you. Talk to the professor at the class, hey, I've had difficulty in this subject, but I'm not able to meet your office hours. Is there another time that we can meet? For the most part, they'll be able to say yes, and you guys are able to work together to see if there's a different time. Maybe that's you coming in 15 minutes before class starts or you staying 10 minutes after class starts. Ends. The next one is flexibility. So sometimes when you commute, you aren't able to be as flexible just because you are going to school and you're going home. When sometimes people who are on campus who dorm, they're able to stay after, they're able to go to school events, they're able to um, hang out with friends and make time because they're able to stay on camp. They know that they're staying on campus after the event is done. So sometimes for commuters, if there's a party, it'd be sometimes too hard to go home 2 hours away, 20 minutes away, and come back to campus for an event. Sometimes once in a while you can make that happen, but for the most part, just know that you may be missing out on some events. Another downside of commuting can be also having the struggle of making friendships. I know that for me, I went to a commuter school, so mostly a lot of the students commuted. So there wasn't too much of like a campus family vibe going on. For the most part, people went to their class, walked out of class, and went home, or they stayed with their two friends and then went to the library, went to the campus center, and then went home. So it can be challenging to make like a big group of friends and kind of feel like a family on campus, just because depending on what school you go to, people can be isolated and kept to themselves. But like I said in previous videos, I would suggest you to reach out to some people in clubs, reach out to people through social media, and reach out to your classmates and see, hey, like you could start off with, hey, do you want to do a study session? Go to the library. Afterwards, go get something to eat. And then there you go. You have your couple of friends that you can count on to see often. But for the most part, um, I wouldn't stress too much about having or not having too many friends. Honestly, if you don't have a lot of friends, take that time of isolation to better yourself, meet new people, and start new hobbies. So then you're not feeling alone and isolated 24/7. Alright, so now let's jump into some pros about commuting. Alright, let's start. So, number one is for my commuters, we are saving money, okay? Dorming can cost a couple hundred to a couple thousand per semester, and by commuting, you know that you are going to and fro and you do not have to worry about any type of dorming. And so if you may be like feeling left out or kind of down about that, I would say try to make friends who you know that are also dorming on campus. So if you, let's say, stay late and you want to take a nap or you just want to hang out with your friends, you have a place to go. You could go in their dorm, you could chill, and you kind of get that dorming experience for free without actually dorming on campus. So that's number one. And another pro about commuting is that you are able to stay at home where you can be surrounded by your families and loved ones. This is really good because you know that your family who is around you can provide you with motivation and support, especially when you can feel stressed, and they could kind of like help you get out of any funk. They help cook for you, you know, groceries and all of that. You know, you're kind of at home where you feel comfortable and where you're able to also feel safe. Another pro about commuting is it can help you form your independence better. For those who are taking public transportation, you're able to understand how to go from one place to the other without any assistance. Also, you're able to know how to manage your time better because you know that if you had class at a certain time, you know you had to leave and wake up early at this time so then you can make it on time. Also, to piggyback off that, it helps you with your money because you know that, hey, if I'm taking public transportation and if I had to take Lyft, train, Uber, gas money, I know I have to save X amount of money per week. And so with that mindset, you're already thinking about budgeting, savings, and this could help you and with your finances while some people may not be thinking about that, you know that you have to, so then you're able to make it to school and make it home safely. Another pro of commuting is that you have more access to getting a job, especially if you have a car. You know that you're able to go to college and classes, and then you're able to go to your job, and then you're able to go home. Where for some people, if they're dorming, they don't have a car, and so you're kind of like stuck on campus. But with the ability to dorm, you're able to go where you want to and also get a job for that. Also, if you have friends who dorm, you're able to and you commute, you're able to bring them places, and you guys can still hang out, and you can still build your friendship by doing that. Going out for lunch, going out before your next class, going down the street, coming back to campus. So it just gives you more opportunity to be flexible in that way, where you don't have to kind of stay on campus and stay in your own bubble, but you can actually move around town and go around town to do what you want. Another pro about commuting is that you're able to separate your social life, your school life, and your personal life. So mental health is extremely important. You know, by having time to separate your school life from your personal life, it can help relieve your stress. You're able to focus better and work on what you need to work on by separating the environment. You know that if I'm home, I don't have to worry about friend drama. I'm going to do my work. I'm going to grind on my business. And I'm going to grind on doing a hobby. And then when I get to school, I'm going to do school. After school, stay at the library for a few hours, get your homework done. And you know that you are set to go. You're not bringing any school drama to your house, and vice versa. So you're able to kind of have just a better mental health by separating the two. Where for some people who are dorming, you may have beef with this girl, with this guy, and now you see him everywhere you go, or you see her, and you kind of can't avoid that person just because you guys are on campus 24/7. So that may help, because ultimately by separating the two lives, you're able to reduce your distractions when you get home, and you're able to focus better on what you need to focus on. Another pro is that you don't have to worry about roommates and all of that comes with it. Dorming, showers, dirtiness of people. So a lot of times you hear a lot of stories about roommates not being compatible and crashing and fighting. One's dirty, one's clean. One's doing something they're not supposed to. So you're able to avoid that whole mess, and you're able to be at home, be in your own space, be comfortable, get what you need to get done, and then return to school the next day. Alright, so these are a couple like pros and cons. Ultimately, you have to make the best decision for yourself, and I would also end off with this. Even if you are commuting, just know that you can still be involved. For me, that looked like getting involved in clubs, going to office hours when I could, and ultimately just hanging out with friends throughout the day, in between classes, before class, and after class. Also, don't forget about internships. That could be done on campus and off campus, but if it is on campus, that's another time where you're able to interact with other classmates, other students, and just keep that social life at a high. Lastly, I would like to say this is all my opinion of someone who commuted to college. I don't regret it. Of course, it did come with its challenges, but for the most part, I did what I needed to do, and I still made the best out of my college experience, especially during that remote time. So yeah. If you like today's video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and come back tomorrow for another day of Vlogmas. We are out. Bye, guys.